Welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Dee Dee and this is Randy, and we are at Frederick County Animal Control Center in the kitchen, and we are coming to you today to show you some of the adoptable pets at your county animal shelter. Our first guest this morning is Harley, and as you can see, Harley is a black and white domestic shorthair, very affectionate. He is only 2 years old. He's already neutered, and he's also been declawed. And while the shelter, as a rule, doesn't recommend declawing, some people do prefer to adopt a pet who has already been declawed. And in the case of Harley, he would meet that criteria. One of the things we don't like about declawing pets is just cultural. We don't remove the teeth from puppies who chew up table legs, and we don't remove the toes from hamsters who escape from their cage by poking the water bottle out of the hole and using that to run away. But for some reason, culturally, we are okay with removing the top joint of cats' toes so that they won't scratch furniture. So we will definitely help anyone who has a cat to train their cat not to scratch things they don't want scratched. But in the case of cats who have already been declawed, they make lovely pets just like any other cat. And some people are looking to adopt cats who have already been declawed. So Harley, as you can see, is a lap cat, and he is interested in finding somebody that he can pretty much sit on most of the time. So if you have been thinking about getting a cat, think of the shelter first, because we get about 5,500 animals each year, and many of those are cats, in fact, a little more than half. So we will certainly be able to find a good match for you, starting with Harley. If you don't think Harley is the right cat for you, but you think you know someone who might want him, consider getting his picture off of Pet Finder and passing it around among your friends. See what happens. Every pet that we find a home for from the shelter actually saves 2 lives. This kitty gets saved and goes into his new home, but a second cat can be saved as well by getting the space that Harley leaves when he goes to his new home. We are back with Miley, and Miley is a 3-year-old domestic shorthair. She is already spayed, and she's also declawed. And Miley is available for adoption from the animal shelter. She and Harley both came from the same home. The family who had these 2 cats had to move in with other family members, and they now have someone at home who's allergic to cats, so they weren't able to keep the kitties, and they don't know how long they're going to be there, so they brought them to us to look for a home. Miley and Harley do not have to be adopted together, but certainly if you have been thinking about getting 2 cats and you want to make sure that they are cats that like each other, then obviously Miley and Harley are available together as well. We have some rabbits off camera that Miley is interested in. And she is a Duluth tortoiseshell. That's the name of the color that she is sporting. And a lot of people say that this is their favorite color of cat. So I would like to point out that she does offer that. She's absolutely friendly and affectionate as well. And these 2 cats have a lot of experience with family activities. So sometimes there is an advantage to getting an older cat that's been raised in a home, because they've seen the vacuum cleaner, they've seen ceiling fans, they know about the doorbell, telephones ringing. So it can be nice to get an older cat that has those experiences into your home. Even so, when you get a new cat, we recommend that you put the new cat in the bathroom for the first night to make sure that they're using their litter box and eating their food, and so they can get accustomed to your house before you let them out. One thing that cats are likely to do in a new environment is to go inside of a small space and hide. So if you did take a new cat home in the carrier and let them out in your house, sometimes you end up with a cat that's inside of a box spring or under some furniture or in some other way inconvenient to interact with and watch over in the first day. So we recommend the bathroom as a little interim introduction to their new life. So if you think that you know somebody who might like Miley or any cat that we have at the shelter, ask them to come on over. And don't forget, we're open late on Wednesdays and Thursday nights till 8 for everyone's convenience, to make it easier for you to find the right pet for you. We are back with Tilly, Sandy, and Patrick. And as promised, we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks that kittens are coming to the shelter. Kittens are born about tax day, around April 15th, from cats that live outside. And so these kittens are the one of the first litters that's old enough to be adopted out from those kittens that were born in April. So if you have been waiting patiently for the arrival of tiny kittens that you can entertain for a good long time, while you are waiting for them to grow up and become what Harley and Miley already are, then now is the time to come to the shelter and look. These little kittens are litter mates. They grew up in our foster program. And the nice thing about our foster kittens is that we have 80 foster homes, and they raise the kittens, litter train the kittens, usually teach them about dogs and lots of different people, sometimes other cats. So they make really active, adaptable, brave, social, outgoing kittens. So these guys are at the shelter now, ready for you to meet and interact with and see which one might be right for you. And between now and October, we usually receive about 1,200 kittens. So don't worry if when you arrive at the shelter, these guys are already spoken for, because we will be getting plenty throughout the season. And one of the reasons that we're showing the kittens like we are is because the advantage of an older cat is that you do not have to spend this much time entertaining them that Randy is spending here. But if you want a kitten because they're cute and absolutely worth it, you also have to be willing to spend a lot of time supervising them, because they can get into so much trouble. They escape from enclosures. They climb up on things that are high. They scratch things. They break things. And they want lots and lots of interaction. As you can see, Randy is now on the run for one of the escaped kittens. So if you do want to take home a kitten, please come into the shelter and talk to us about what they need. Obviously, you can see from this that basically what they need is lots of exercise, lots to do. If you have considered adopting 2 kittens at once, it is certainly fun, and they do entertain each other and they do play together, but you should know it's also double the trouble. So if you have thought about getting a kitten, please do consider the shelter first. One of the advantages of getting a kitten from the shelter is that we spay and neuter them before you get them, and we give them vaccines, and we prepare them by litter training them to be a pet in your home. So if you are thinking about it, then watch this and see if you're up to it. And if so, we would love to have you get a kitten from the shelter. We are going to be back after a short break of kitten wrangling with some more guests at the Frederick County Animal Control Center that might make nice pets for you. So if you are interested, stay with us.
Oh, man.
If you're concerned that there is a party taking place where there's underage drinking or drugs being used, or that you've heard that a party is going to take place, there's a tip line that you can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's 301-600-1318.
Get out and be active. The Frederick County Division of Parks and Recreation offers a variety of recreational opportunities for citizens of all ages and ability. Experience the fun and excitement by visiting our special events, participating in youth activities such as youth sports, cooking classes, or camps. Or get in shape by attending one of our many fitness classes, martial art classes, or dance classes. Whatever you're looking for, we are sure to have it. The Frederick County Division of Parks and Recreation, where Frederick County comes to play.
Welcome back. We are back with some adoptable dogs and other pets at Frederick County Animal Control. And we are starting off this segment with a lovely pit bull named Boss. And Boss is a brindle pit. He's only a year old. He has the typical big head, muscular body of an American Pit Bull Terrier. And we are very happy to say you guys saw him on the show about a month ago. And a month ago, he was more shy, thinner, yes. And so since we've had him for 4 weeks, we've really gotten to know him. Our kennel manager, Linda Shea, will talk to anyone who wants to adopt him about finishing his training so that he can be all that he can be. And one of the things we always like to say about pit bulls is that at one time, they were the most popular pet in the United States for families. They make a really great all-around dog. And they're strong, they're loyal, they can work on a farm, they can do some cattle and pig work, and some people do protection work with them, but they make a really great family pet. But as of late, they've also become really popular with people who want an animal that makes the person seem tough and makes the person feel braver. They also have been used in illegal dog fighting. So they've gotten a really bad reputation. One of the things that will happen with any rambunctious puppy, if they're allowed to run loose in the neighborhood, they learn to do things. It's just a toy, honey, for cats. They learn to do things like chase neighborhood cats, and they they learn to dig under fences and get in the trash cans. So pit bulls have gotten, that's our bunny, Ella. So pit bulls have gotten a reputation for causing trouble in neighborhoods. And the problem is it's no more common for them to do it than any other type of dog. It's just that if someone sees 3 Shelties running through a neighborhood loose, they're not likely to be afraid or intimidated in any way. This is a really strong, muscular dog and looks intimidating, and can lead people to believe that they're not well behaved and that they're more dangerous than other breeds, which just isn't the case. It's a dog like any other dog. It's a big, strong dog that needs training like any other big, strong dog. And although we would advocate for training for tiny dogs too, we're going to meet one in a couple minutes that really doesn't need very much of anything except to be carried around. So if you think that Boss, or a dog like Boss, would be right for you, then please come by the shelter and talk to us. There was a recent court decision that puts these guys a little bit at risk because the court decision decided that landlords bear some responsibility for the dogs that belong to tenants they rent to. So it is a little bit harder for these dogs to find homes right now than ever before, which is really all they didn't need. So think about it, come in and talk to us. And if you have a dog that you think would get along with Boss, then we do offer the ability to have you come in and have your dog meet him so that you can make sure that they'll be fast friends before you take him home. We are back with Spike, and Spike is a mixed Labrador Retriever, almost everyone's favorite dog. And we have about 15 or 20 dogs in the shelter today. And we are showing you a few dogs that have been with us for 3 or 4 weeks. Spike's been with us for a month, and the reason we're showing him again is sometimes we have trouble with darker colored dogs or plain colored dogs getting adopted, and that is because we have in the shelter Chihuahuas and Lhasas and Beagles and Dalmatians that are colorful and attention-grabbing, and then also puppies. We have 2 Aussie mix puppies that are in the shelter. But then we have this guy who is plain and dark colored, and when you're walking through the shelter in fluorescent lights, it can sometimes be really hard to see their facial expressions. Obviously, it's hard to see his face right now because he's interested in treats only. But Spike's a really great dog. He sits on command. He lies down when asked. He's mixed lab, which is what everybody likes. He has short hair, which is easy grooming. And so, see, he's a perfect dog. So we do want to give him the little boost of some more TV time so that you can see that he's really a good dog and he really deserves a second look. We also know that lots of people prefer to get exactly this type of dog. A little older, he is 3 years old, so he's in his prime physically, but he's through the puppy stage. He doesn't need to eat the table leg. He doesn't need to run around like crazy for a couple hours a day. And he has some experience with a family, so he knows what's expected of him. And because he's lost his family, a lot of people say that dogs that are secondhand dogs are pretty excited and grateful to be back in a family situation again because they miss it. So Spike is in the shelter and available now. He's been here a little bit of time, so we know a lot about him. If you think that he would make a good match for you or someone in your family or a friend, please consider referring them to the shelter. And even if you're not sure, we do welcome people to come by and ask to take one of the dogs out, play with them out in the dog yard, and see what you think. If he's not the right dog for you, we have plenty of others. And if he is, you're only going to know once you meet him. So if you think that Spike is a good match, then please come by the shelter and see him. We are back with our next guest. We are calling her Susie Q. And you have also seen Susie Q on the TV show before. She's going to go get her treat that she dropped. Susie Q is some kind of mixed hound and terrier, probably part beagle, if I had to take a guess. Although she is a big dog. She is friendly and outgoing, and she will be, just like all of the pets from the animal shelter, vaccinated and spayed. And as you can see, she's 2 years old, so she's very young and very agile, able to do all of the things that you might want to do with a dog. And one of the things that we ask people to do when they think about getting a dog is picture the kinds of things you want to do with your dog. Some people would like to have a dog that stays home with the kids, greets them when they come home and goes for a walk in the afternoons. Susie Q can do that. Some people would like to get a dog that they can take to a dog park. Susie Q gets along with other dogs as well as cats, and so she would be able to do that. Some people want to be able to take their dogs camping. So you need to know a little bit about what you imagine you're going to do with your dog so that we can help you pick out several dogs that might meet that the criteria of what you need. For example, we have a dog in the shelter named Max who's very good off leash and likes to go swimming. So if you knew that you wanted to go camping with your dog, you might want to consider Max. Since Susie Q gets along with other dogs and cats, she's a great candidate for dog park and neighborhood walks, soccer games with kids. So think about that, what you would like to do with a dog of your dreams. Let us know, and then let us introduce you to some of the dogs in the shelter that fit that. Oftentimes people come in and tell us that it's overwhelming, that there are 15 different dogs, they don't know where to start. So you can let us start by helping you. Another thing we do is color coding the dogs. We color code them blue, orange, or green. And green means untrained, doesn't know anything. A lot of puppies are green. And blue is a dog with a lot of experience in a family and likes to be with people, is interested in being around children and other animals. So it does help when you come to the shelter to have in mind the type of things you want to do so we can steer you to the dogs that would be a good match. Now, certainly people come to the shelter all the time and tell me, oh, we're looking for a golden retriever, 4 or 5 years old, and they walk out the door with an 18-year-old Chihuahua. It happens. So if you have an idea of what you want, we can certainly start you in that direction. But if you fall in love, Susie, with someone else at the shelter, then we're perfectly happy to make that match as well. So if you are still looking for the dog of your dreams, please start at the shelter. We have plenty to offer and lots of information we can offer you about finding the right dog, even if we don't have the dog in the shelter. Especially, we have a wish list, so we can look out for the dog you want. Susie, what are you doing? And help you find the right dog for you and your family. We are back with our final dog guest of the show. This is Thunder, And Thunder is an Australian Shepherd or Setter or Spaniel mix of some kind that is going to be gigantic. He and his sister are in our foster care program. They came to the shelter together, and we are expecting them to be adopted separately. Talk about double trouble. We have very generous foster homes in Frederick County that go to great lengths to take in small puppies and kittens that aren't ready for the kennel life and get them ready for your household. And Thunder is one of those. So we do think he's going to be a pretty big dog. And obviously, because he's a puppy. Oh yeah, they were at Tractor Supply this weekend. If you saw him at Tractor Supply and you were interested in adopting him, then please consider coming by and meeting him or his sister. They're very cute, and a lot of times people want to get a puppy so that they can know the dog from earliest age possible. Something that you should definitely consider when getting a puppy is, if your daily schedule includes 8 hours of work, 8 hours of sleep, commute time, making dinner, doing homework with your kids, and maybe reading or watching TV, that adds up to more than 24 hours in a day, as you well know. So in order to get a dog, you would have to make some significant changes in that schedule. For example, reducing the 8 hours of sleep, which many people do already, or changing your work schedule, or using a doggy daycare, or other such ways to make some time in the day for your dog. Because if you get a puppy and you are not able to put in a little bit of time every day training your puppy, then you're going to end up with one of the adult dogs that usually ends up in the shelter from people who say, we didn't have time to train him and somebody with more time needs him. And we are able to take those dogs and find homes for them. The problem is that it's much easier if we start with a puppy and find someone who will have the time to put in so that this dog can get one home and keep it for his life. One more home, I should say. So if you are interested in taking on a puppy, then Thunder may be the right match for you. We get about 300 puppies a year, and we do keep a wish list. So think of the shelter for puppies first. And if we don't have the puppy that you want, we certainly can help you with finding a reputable breeder and considering what you want out of a dog so that you go in the right direction to begin with. Our final guests of today's show are Razzie and Oreo. These are two guinea pigs. They come from South America and are commonly kept as pets here in this country and bred and raised as pets. One of the interesting things about guinea pigs is that when they have babies, the babies, even though guinea pigs are mammals, the babies are born completely ready to eat solid food, walk around on their own. They look just like an adult guinea pig, only in miniature. Eyes are open, they have toenails, everything. What we're more used to with mammal babies is that they're born in an infant type, no fur, their eyes are closed, they're not able to do anything, they need to be kept warm. Not so with guinea pigs. They are born ready to go just like a baby deer. Their diet is very similar to deer or horses. They eat hay. They can eat pelleted hay. They also can eat some greens. Guinea pigs make a great kids pet because they're easy to contain. They don't jump out like the kittens we had earlier. They are not prone to escaping from their quarters. And they are vocal. Unfortunately, they don't have anything to say right now, but guinea pigs make a whistling sound. Some people call them whistle pigs when their caretaker is bringing them food or when they want some attention. They also, they don't shed very much and can be very interesting to watch, as you're seeing now. They have some toys in their cage to make it more interesting. Obviously, guinea pigs benefit from being taken out of their cage and put into a play or exercise area every day, which is also fun for kids. So if you have thought about what kind of first pet you might want to start out with, then talk to us about guinea pigs. Or if your child has a guinea pig as a classroom pet and you were thinking about getting one at home, then consider coming to the shelter. While we do get a number of guinea pigs every year, as often as we can, We pass them on to Small Angels
Roy,
Rescue.
Front when available, please. Roy, can you call the front when available?
And the reason we call on Small Angels Rescue is that they know a lot about guinea pigs. There are some special things about them. They have to have vitamin C added to their diet. They can't take certain kinds of penicillin, so they're not just like every other pet. They drink out of a water bottle, which is nice because that's easy to keep clean and refill. So if you have considered getting your child a pet, but you don't think that your child is necessarily ready for an independent dog or cat, then you might want to consider looking into a pet like this. So thank you very much for joining us on Pet Pals. We will be back next week with a lot more adoptable animals. And if you haven't seen the pet of your dreams today in this episode, feel free to go to the website below, look at past episodes, and consider our wish list, because over time we will probably get the pet of your dreams, and we would love for you to be able to get your pet from an animal shelter.